For years, Sheikh Hamdan has been one of the most admired royals in the world, the charming crown prince of Dubai, known for his adventurous lifestyle, poetry, and global presence. But behind all the headlines and carefully crafted public appearances, there's a part of his life most people rarely talk about: his marriage to Sheikha bint Saeed bin Tani al-Maktoum. At first glance, it looked like the perfect royal union, a princess from the same powerful dynasty, a marriage that ticked all the right boxes. But behind the scenes, the story isn't as picture perfect as it seems, from family expectations to rumors of heartbreak to a marriage many believe was never about love at all. This is the untold truth about Sheikh Hamdan's mysterious relationship with Sheikha, and why their royal love story may not be what the world thinks. For someone married to one of the world's most famous royals, Sheikha has remained surprisingly private. You won't find countless interviews, flashy magazine covers, or public speeches. In fact, much of her life has been kept carefully away from the spotlight, and that's exactly how the al-Maktoum family likes it. But here's what we do know. Sheikha bint Saeed bin Tani al-Maktoum isn't just a royal by marriage. She was born into Dubai's ruling dynasty, a true princess by blood, deeply connected to the most powerful family in the UAE. According to reports, Sheikha is believed to be around 38 years old. Some sources suggest she was born in 1986, though official details about her early life have always been kept vague. What's clear is that she grew up surrounded by wealth, tradition, and the quiet pressure that comes with carrying one of the most influential names in the Arab world. But beyond her royal status, there's one detail that makes her marriage to Sheikh Hamdan complicated. She's not just his wife, she's also his first cousin. And as you'll soon find out, that's not just coincidence. It's part of a royal pattern that's been shaping Dubai's ruling family for generations. But before we get there, the real story begins with the man she was supposed to marry. Long before Sheikh Hamdan's name was attached to hers, Sheikha was at the center of a completely different royal match. It's been said that her future was originally tied to Sheikh Rashid, the eldest son of Dubai's ruler, and the man many believed was destined to lead the emirate. Powerful, well-connected, and the firstborn of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid al-Maktoum, Sheikh Rashid was expected to follow in his father's footsteps, and part of that future included marriage within the family. That's where Sheikha came in. As the daughter of Sheikh Hessa, who herself comes from the ruling dynasty, Sheikha was seen as the ideal bride to keep the family ties strong. A match that wasn't just about love, but about legacy, tradition, and power. But here's where the story takes a turn no one saw coming. Despite the pressure, Sheikh Rashid reportedly rejected the proposal. Whether it was personal preference, political reasons, or something behind the scenes, only those closest to the palace know for sure. What we do know is that Sheikh Rashid chose to marry someone else, and just a few years later, tragedy struck. In 2015, Sheikh Rashid passed away unexpectedly, shocking the entire region. His death didn't just shake the royal family emotionally, it changed the entire line of succession. With Sheikh Rashid gone, Sheikh Hamdan, his younger brother, was next in line. And with that, everything changed for both him and Sheikha. But what happened next wasn't about love, it was about duty. And that's where the real story begins. When Sheikh Rashid passed away, the responsibility of the crown prince fell onto Sheikh Hamdan's shoulders. And with that title came more than just power and privilege. It came with expectations, heavy, complicated, royal expectations. In Dubai's ruling family, marriage isn't always about fairy tales or grand romantic gestures. It's about preserving the bloodline, strengthening alliances, and keeping tradition alive. And for Sheikh Hamdan, that meant following a very specific path. Reports claim that after becoming crown prince, Sheikh Hamdan faced pressure to marry someone from within the family, someone who would both satisfy tradition and protect the dynasty's image. And just like that, all eyes turned back to Sheikha. It wasn't the first time this had happened. In fact, royal insiders point to his own parents as proof. Sheikh Hamdan's father, Sheikh Mohammed, married Sheikha Hind, who just so happens to be his first cousin as well. The same family connection, the same tradition, the same sense of duty. For Sheikh Hamdan, love took a back seat to legacy. By marrying Sheikha, he wasn't just fulfilling a family expectation, he was protecting centuries of royal tradition, whether he wanted to or not. But behind the palace walls, not everything was as perfect as it looked. On paper, it seemed flawless. The handsome, adventurous crown prince marries a princess from the same powerful dynasty. For the public, it was the perfect royal story, elegant, controlled, traditional. But behind the palace gates, whispers told a different story. Insiders have long suggested that Sheikh Hamdan wasn't exactly thrilled about the marriage. Sure, it satisfied the royal family, it preserved tradition, but when it came to personal happiness, that's where things got complicated. Sources close to the situation have hinted that Sheikh Hamdan agreed to the marriage out of pure duty, not out of love. Some even go as far as saying he resisted the idea for years. But with family expectations mounting and with the memory of Sheikh Rashid's passing, leaving the family vulnerable, Hamdan had little choice. The wedding reportedly took place in 2019 alongside his brothers, a triple royal wedding that made headlines worldwide, but even that event, for all its glitz and glamour, couldn't hide the cracks beneath the surface. Behind the smiles was distance. Behind the titles was tension. And for Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha, married life didn't unfold like a fairy tale, because not long after the celebrations ended, the rumors of separation began. It didn't take long for people to start noticing something off. Despite being married, Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha were rarely seen together. Public appearances, almost non-existent. Joint interviews, never happened. Photos, a few carefully staged images, but nothing that showed the warmth or closeness the world expects from newlyweds. Naturally, the rumors began to swirl. Some claimed the couple were living separate lives, still legally married, but emotionally worlds apart. Others whispered that the crown prince's heart had never truly been in the marriage to begin with. And then came the divorce rumors. Over the past few years, countless blogs, online forums, and social media pages have suggested that Sheikh Hamdan quietly divorced Sheikha. Some even speculated it happened long ago, but that the royal family kept it hidden to avoid scandal. But here's the thing. No official confirmation has ever come from the palace, and in the world of royalty, silence often says more than words. What we do know is that multiple reports claim the two now live separately. No public fights, no legal drama, just quiet distance and, according to insiders, a lot of heartbreak behind closed doors. But that wasn't the end of the story, because Sheikh Hamdan's love life would only become more complicated from here. While Sheikh Hamdan's official marriage to Sheikha faded quietly into the background, the rumors surrounding his love life only grew louder. For years, the Crown Prince has been the subject of endless speculation when it comes to romance. Social media is flooded with whispers of secret girlfriends, mystery women spotted by his side, and even alleged secret relationships beyond the royal family's approval. One name that comes up time and time again, a woman named Hadia. Some reports suggest that Hadia was Sheikh Hamdan's longtime love, the woman he truly wanted to be with before duty forced him into marriage with Sheikha. Of course, none of these claims have ever been officially confirmed. The royal family remains notoriously private, and Sheikh Hamdan himself never addresses the rumors. But that hasn't stopped the speculation. From leaked photos to vague social media posts, fans and royal watchers are convinced there's more to the story than the palace lets on. And while the world focuses on Hamdan's adventurous lifestyle, poetry, and global image, behind the scenes, his personal life remains a puzzle, one filled with quiet heartbreak, complicated traditions, and unanswered questions. But there's one thing most people agree on. The royal love story of Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha was never as simple as it looked. To the outside world, Dubai's royal family looks like a flawless dynasty. Wealth, power, tradition, and the perfect image. But like any family, behind the palaces and designer suits, there are complicated emotions, broken expectations, and untold stories. The marriage between Sheikh Hamdan and Sheikha was never just about love. It was about duty, legacy, and protecting the family name. But as we've seen, that doesn't always lead to happiness. Whether they remain quietly married, separated by choice, or their relationship exists only on paper, the truth is known only to those within the royal walls. But one thing is certain. When it comes to Sheikh Hamdan's personal life, the story is far from over. The unanswered questions, quiet heartbreak, and rumors of forbidden love continue to swirl, and the world is still watching, still wondering what happens next. Because in the world of royalty, the real drama rarely happens in public. It happens behind closed doors.
In my last video, I shared an important update about Sheikh Hamdan's wife, Sheikha Tani, and their son, little Mohammed. They recently moved back into Sheikh Hamdan's first palace, but ever since their return, things have been tense. Sheikh Hamdan has been trying to avoid Sheikha Tani as much as possible, even though Ramadan is a time for family gatherings. But that's not the only drama happening behind the palace doors. There's a new twist, and it involves none other than his ex-wife, Hadia Zen. So stay with me as I break down all the details, hidden secrets, and shocking turns in this ongoing story. And if you enjoy my videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's get into today's episode. Ramadan tensions in the palace. Ramadan is a time for prayer, reflection, and family. But for Sheikh Hamdan, this month has been full of unexpected challenges. Since Sheikha Thani returned, he has been doing everything he can to keep his distance. But avoiding her is nearly impossible, especially with all the Ramadan preparations happening in the palace. The kitchen is always busy preparing meals for iftar and suhoor, and to help with the workload, Sheikh Hamdan made a decision. He transferred some kitchen staff from Hadia's previous mansion to his first palace. But this one small decision set off a chain of events that no one saw coming. Sheikha Thani's discovery. Among the kitchen helpers, some had worked in Hadia's mansion before. And guess what? Sheikha Thani's best friend started talking to them, asking questions, and gathering information. It turns out that these workers had been at Hadia's new home before coming to the palace. That's right, Hadia is currently in Dubai, living in a house that Sheikh Hamdan secretly bought for her. Sheikha Thani's best friend wasted no time. She took all the details straight to Sheikha Thani, and when Sheikha Thani found out, she was furious. She couldn't believe that Sheikh Hamdan had gone so far as to buy a new house for his ex-wife and keep it a secret. But just hearing about it wasn't enough. She wanted to see it with her own eyes. And so she made a plan to find Hadia's mansion, Sheikh Hamdan's secret meeting. While Sheikha Thani was focused on finding Hadia, Sheikh Hamdan had his own plans. On February 4th, he visited Shama al-Falasi for iftar. Their relationship has always been the subject of rumors, and on this occasion, they seemed to enjoy their time together. During their conversation, Sheikh Hamdan opened up about Hadia. He admitted that he had helped her get a new house in Dubai, but instead of being upset, Shama simply advised him to keep it a secret from Sheikha Thani to avoid unnecessary problems. Sheikh Hamdan reassured her that everything was under control. But what he didn't know was that Sheikha Thani had already found out. She was one step ahead and determined to uncover the truth. Hadia's poem, and Sheikh Hamdan's reaction. Then, something unexpected happened. On February 5th, Hadia Zen shared a heartfelt poem online. While I'll share the full translation in my next video, what's important to know is that this poem deeply moved Sheikh Hamdan. After reading it, he immediately tried calling Hadia, but she didn't answer. For a moment, he considered calling again, but then he decided to let it be. Still, he felt disappointed, not just with Hadia, but also with Sheikha Tani. Despite all his efforts to keep the peace, both women seemed to bring drama into his life. What happens next? Sheikha Tani is determined to find Hadia's house. She has the information, but now she wants proof. She wants to see it for herself. How far will she go? Will she confront Sheikh Hamdan? Will she try to force Hadia to leave Dubai? This story is getting more intense by the day. In my next video, I'll share the full translation of Hadia's poem, a poem that shook Sheikh Hamdan to his core. And after that, I'll reveal what Sheikha Thani did next to track down Hadia's location. So, if you don't want to miss any updates, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. What do you think will happen next? Will Sheikha Thani find Hadia's mansion? Will Sheikh Hamdan step in to stop her? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next update, and until then, take care. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.